Hey, how's everyone doing? I just realized my sound was off. So let's try that again, okay? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and I want to welcome you to our Wednesday afternoon live draw. Every Wednesday afternoon, we get together and we draw a portrait. Today's portrait is going to be this picture of Edgar Allan Poe. If you would like to, we come up with these portraits in our Facebook group. I put a link out in the morning, and people are able to vote on which one they would like. So today, Mr. Edgar Allan Poe here got the most votes, and that's what we're going to draw. So we're going to practice drawing a portrait. I'm going to walk you through how to draw using kind of a modified Andrew Loomis method. And we'll be at this for the next hour, okay? So while I do that, I do want to send one thing here. Hold on. Let's see here. Give me a second while I email this off. You know me, trying to do too many things at once sometimes, right? Hold on there. You're like, what is he doing? All right, all done. Now we're back. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a look at drawing Edgar Allan Poe. But before we do, let's go over some basics, okay? I have a particular process that I like to go through when I draw, and I repeat that over and over again, and it has helped me over a long time by taking that process and just repeating it. So here it is. Let's see it. Here it is. So I always start off with a gesture drawing, and then that leads into construction. And that leads into detail, okay? Gesture is just getting a quick overview of what you're going to draw. Sometimes you're trying to just put some lines on the page so you can adjust them accordingly. Sometimes if there's an action pose, you might even try to capture a little bit of that action. If it is like a landscape, you're going to probably put in all kinds of quick little notes or objects to try and get an idea of depth. And then once we get that in place, then we go to construction. Construction is breaking down the form. So there's a good phrase. It's called construction leads to likeness. And what I mean by that is that focus on getting the construction of a head, and then the likeness will just automatically fall in place. If you do it the opposite, it's going to be a harder road to walk, because your construction might be off, and that's going to cause everything to go in its own direction. And then finally we do the detail. All right, so just kind of remember this mantra: gesture, construction, and detail. Okay, so then the other thing I want to share with you before we get started, and this actually is, if you watch any of my videos and you only watch one and you were to walk away with one thing, hey, look at that. Darlene is in the house, and Sharon, there you are. I see you too, and I did see your earlier message, Sharon. So yes, I forgot to turn my mic on, so that was my fault. Let me turn that off there. Okay, so the other part of drawing a portrait is using what I call tools of measurement. Okay, hey Mariana. So tools of measurement are being able to use vertical and horizontal lines, along with looking at negative space and using what I call the cartoon check. So hopefully we'll use some of those in today's drawing, all right? let me write those down. So you have horizontal, vertical. We have negative shape. And cartoon check. Okay, we'll go over those so you could see how I use those in order to keep my proportion locked on. Let me see what's going on. You know what? I have to. I'm in the middle of something here at work, so I just need to let somebody know that I will get back to them here. We'll call this a meeting, right? In a meeting, call you back in an hour. Okay. All right, there we go. Oh, the joy, right? All right. Cartoon check. So let's get into this. I'm going to go ahead and slide that over there. Okay. So today we have a portrait that's looking straight at us, and it has a lot of fun character to it. So let's go ahead and talk about using the Andrew Loomis method. So typically, if he is going to draw a portrait looking right at us, he's going to start off with a sphere like this. Okay, and let's draw another one over here and another one over here. All right. Now, let's say that we're going to label these A, B, and C. All right. So let's say A is looking straight at us, so that we might have a center line like this. Let's say B is going to be looking off to its left. Okay, so we're going to have this. We're going to have the center line off to the left, and let's say C, the face is going to be looking off in the other direction. Okay, so let's start with A here. And when I draw a portrait, a lot of times I like to try and establish where the brow line is. And I use the brow line opposed to the eye line, but the brow line. Okay, so let's just kind of put a mark going across A like that. Let's say B, we're going to make the brow line just a little bit lower, just like this, okay? And then C, we're going to put the brow line, well, just slightly higher, just like this, okay? So we get a sphere, we find the center line, and if you want to like jot these little notes down, this is one way that really helped me to learn drawing a portrait. Is I came up with a not a pattern. I came up with a steps, my own personal steps, and then I just kept repeating those over and over and over again. And I would write them down on a little post-it note and put them right next to my pad, and then I would just follow those steps, my own personal steps. So next thing you have the brow line. Now, on the brow line, if you take your fingers, you could feel your temples, okay? The temples are right on the outside of that. So let's say we have a temple there and a temple there. We're going to have a temple here. Now, this is 3/4 view. Okay, so you're going to have this temple is closer to the center than this one. It's because it's foreshortened, all right? And on B, we're going to have something similar. Just like that, okay? All right. All right, let's keep going. So on A, right here at the temple, and this is interesting, right at the temple, you will get the side of the head gets very flat, okay? So we're going to slice off the side there, okay? B, we're going to slice off the sides, all right? Just like this. And you could even, if you wanted to, you could even erase those. Okay. And on C, there's the side of our sphere, just like that, okay? Okay, let's keep going. All right. So this is the brow line. Now up here, let's just say this is that right there is the hairline. This is the forehead, okay, where the hair comes down. And we can mark that there as well, and something up there, okay? And usually from the hairline to the brow line to the nose to the chin is thirds, okay? Thirds. So let's see, one, there's a third, and there's a third, and there's a third, okay? There's a third, 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 and a third. Third, third, third. Okay, those are all about thirds. We divide that up in thirds. Okay, let's come down here and on the side, let's draw a straight line here. And on C, we're going to draw a straight line there as well. And B, since we're looking straight at B, it's we don't have to draw the sides because the sides have been cut off and you can see them. Hey, let's drop down just a teeny little bit, just a little bit there, and that's gonna get us the corner of the jaw. Let's just kind of bring that around. Same thing with B. We'll swing that around on both sides. All right, here's C. Let's bring that around and we'll get that jaw coming around. Okay, A, because this is 3/4 view and it's on the side there, usually this could be a little bit more straight. See, watch my head. If I look straight at you here and now I go into a 3/4 view, okay, you can see that this back of the head is very round. Whereas this side, there is kind of a relative straightness to it, all right? So we want to remember that idea. So on A, we've got the straight, and we come down here with the other side of the jaw. Same thing over here on C, we come down like this. All right. Now, we're not going to talk about how to draw a nose per se, but we'll just use a round shape, almost like we're drawing a puppet's nose here, you see? That would be about where the nose will go. All right, that's the bottom of the nose. So our mouth is going to line up with the corner of the jaw there, something like that. Corner of the jaw, that's where our mouth is going to go. Corner of a jaw, that's where our mouth is going to go. Corner of the mouth, this lines up usually with the eyes, with the pupils of the eyes. Corners of the nose will line up with the inside of the eyes. Corner of the nose. The outside, the wing, the outside part of the wing lines up with the tear duct, okay? Oops, I see I did something wrong there, but we'll just roll with that. Okay, this is where your chin's going to go, right? Chin is going to go there. This is just general proportions. So here's a quick little trick, something to think about. Usually the bottom of the nose lines up with the jaw of the cheek, which lines up with the bottom of the ear to the back of the skull, okay? Here, watch this. Bottom of the nose, cheek, bottom of the ear, and then the back of skull, which you can't see because that head is looking straight at us. Same thing over here. Bottom of the nose, cheek, bottom of the ear, back of skull. And when I say the back of skull, this is where that's typically where the neck is going to attach. Let's see here, we'll do something like this. And then usually the neck is about as wide as the head. And then down in the neck here, you have what they call as the pit. This is considered a landmark. It's the pit of the neck. So you could put that in if you like. And I say that because you get this great tendon that comes from the back of the head straight down and attaches to the pit of the neck. And this allows you to turn the head. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's a good foundation that you can start to build upon. Those are all the general pieces of the face. So let's go ahead and move that and jump into our picture. Okay. So with that being said, I like to look at my picture and try and envision how I'm going to do this. Now, since we are looking at straight in, can you see that he has a very squared looking face? Okay, so let's start off with let's remember that idea, and let's start off with a nice sphere. We'll start off with a nice sphere, and then we're gonna get a brow line here. Put a brow line in. Now, the next mark is probably is going to point you in the right direction. Okay, so the next mark is going to have to be an angle because his face is slightly angled. You see that? His face is slightly angled, meaning he's leaning over just a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be our brow line. Let's establish where his temples are, and I'm just going to. That's where his temples are. And then I'm going to want to slice off the part of his head here on both sides, so we get this really straight. And let's just erase those sides so we don't get confused. Let's use like, if this is going to be his brow line, that's where his eyebrows are going to go. So let's try to get the hairline, and I want to use, remember I talked about different tools for measurement, and one of them is negative space. So let's do this. Let me show you this. So if I'm looking at, there's his brow line. I'm going to look at this negative shape. You see that? So let's try and put that into our drawing. So we're coming up here. Okay. We're going to come all the way down. Something like that. And looking at it, okay, I can make a slight adjustment to mine. See, this is why this is a great time to start making these adjustments. Before we get too far into it. All right. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna. This is the. Let's use our measuring here. So it's thirds. Okay, so I'm gonna come down another third, and that's gonna be his nose right there, and then another third to be where his chin is gonna be. Okay, now look at this. Look at these alignments here. Let's come back up here, and I want to show you. Look, bottom of the nose, cheekbones, back of ear, bottom of the ear. You see those? It's just what we discussed a second ago. So let's just bottom of the nose, and put these in lightly. Cheekbone, and then bottom of the ear. And we're going to have his hair come up in just a bit. But for right now, I'm just trying to put some things on the page that I can work with. Okay, let's drop these. Look at the word the jaw. The jaw is coming down here. This jaw is also coming down. All right, let's kind of get this chin in here, and then just bring that in just like that. Now, if you are looking at your drawing there, he's kind of have this. There's a line. You see that line coming down there, and then there's another line, and it might be because he's such a skinny guy there. And then let's bring in his neck. All right, his neck's going to come down over here. And then this neck is going to also come down here. This little mark right here is going to indicate where the sash is, the scarf is going around his neck. So I'm just putting that in there for right now. And then next thing I want to do is draw like a containment line and the containment line is like the outline of where I think his hair is going to go. So watch what I do here. And this is, again, I'm going to use this idea of negative shape to figure this out. So watch this now. So I kind of see this as look at that. I see this as a triangle there. And then this almost, you see that? So those are essentially what I'm looking at. So let me try just to lightly put those in. Lightly, I'm looking for those shapes. It's almost straight. Okay. All right, let's keep going with this. All right, let's get his nose now. And the first thing I want to do on his nose is to find the keystone shape. And this is a keystone shape. It looks something like this. So let me show you where I see that. It's going to be up on top here, and right along the brow line. And make sure when you get the rest of his nose that you are, look, it's very straight looking, very angular. And on an angle. All right, nostrils are also at an angle, but they have this very clear curve there. You see that? And the same thing over here. And I'm going to slightly erase. Let's see now. Bring those together here. I'm going to erase some of that. And I'll come back into that. Okay, let's go ahead and get these wrinkles, or this is part of what I call the barrel of the mouth. The barrel of the mouth is a round area that goes behind the nose and comes behind the chin here, okay? So we could just kind of put that in here like this. And then let's very carefully kind of use negative shape or shape and establish where this mustache is going. So it's at an angle. Make sure you off-center it and just get a rough guesstimate right now. We'll tidy it up in just a bit. Years ago, I was reading this book called Drawing the Marvel Comics Way. This was years ago, and they had this thing where when you drew men's lips, let me show you. When you drew men's mouths, if you simply come in here with a line like this, this is not the upper lip, this is the opening, and then just put in a little shadow underneath. That is how you would draw men's lips in the Marvel comic way. And it actually works because, you know, for a female character, you know, the top of her lip is going to show a lot of definition. So I think in this case, we could use that method very, what's the word? Very, not accurately, but it would look good here. So let's come in here now and just look, he has a slight V going on. And get that angle, because he's... And then that shadow, look at this now. Look at this shadow now. Look at it carefully. It's off center. I want to try something here. I want to just... Okay, so check this out. I just discovered something. I just had to look at it before I told you what I was doing. When you were drawing a smile per se, if you do something like this, if you make these marks, that would almost indicate that the person is as a happy smile. Okay, so he definitely does not have a happy smile. So we don't want to make those marks like that. Okay, so that's why I noodled them and just said, okay, what kind of gives them a more of a sad look? And so I eliminated those highlights up on top. All right, let's get into his eyes now. Reason why I wanted to get those corners of his mouth, because the corners, like we just talked about, usually will line up with the pupils of the eye. And the corner of the nose, if you remember, will line up with the inside part, the tear ducts. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw in some eyeballs here. These are going to help me just kind of guide me as far as how I'm going to draw these eyes in just a second. And then I can also actually start to think of the pupils, where the pupils are going to go. All right, let's get these eyes in here. So there's eyelids coming up, across a little bit, and then down. And let's draw the other one on the other side. It's coming up, across, and then down. Okay, and then it droops down a little bit to the outside there. And then I'm going to add a bit of a shadow from that eyelid. Across the top of his eyes. Okay, let's get these let's really bring in those values. Just looking at this shape. Okay, now I'm looking at value a little bit closer here. And don't be afraid to go dark. Okay, how's everyone doing? I'll give you all a minute there to get caught up. So one thing I'm doing is, as I'm kind of giving you a second to get caught up, I'm actually using the cartoon check right now on my drawing. And the way that I do this is that the cartoon check is the fourth tool of measurement when it comes to proportion. And I'm looking at the picture, then looking at my drawing, and I just kind of leap my eyes back and forth. So let's see here. I'm looking. It looks good. I think generally I'm a little bit wide. I'm a little bit wide down here. And I could also say that my chin is too big from here to the bottom down here. That's way too big than the picture. So I'm going to adjust it slightly. And that's where I've used the cartoon check to make that change, because as I jump back and forth, I could see that it wasn't quite lining up there. Okay, let's continue on. So this eye over here, he's got this awesome looking bag that's to the outside of his eye, okay? His skull is coming around here just a bit, like this. And then this eye is casting just a little bit of a shadow there. Now let's get the other side. Same thing. He's got these troubled bags for this an author's life, right? I can't draw faces. Oh, Darlene. Listen, I'll tell you what. Just keep going, Darlene. Don't quit on me. Post your picture in Facebook, in our Facebook group, and tag me, and I'll take a look at how you did, okay? If I can help you by seeing your work, I will be more than happy to do that. But you're in the right spot. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's get this. Let's kind of work on this mustache here. I think that will give him a lot more character. Drawing faces takes. I know I'm going to say this, and you're all going to say we know, but there's no other better way to say it. It takes practice, and it takes a lot of time. All right. But there's an upside to that. The upside is once you get it down, it is a lot of fun. All right. But I could remember very early on how difficult it was and how aggravating it was. And I wondered, like, oh my gosh, will this ever become commonplace? Will this ever become second nature to myself, where I could just have fun doing it without really thinking? And Darlene, I can assure you, it will happen if you keep at it. All right. This isn't some magic formula or anything like that. All right, let's continue on. All right, so let's see, what do we got? We got this coming in here. Okay, let's kind of bring in some of these cheeks. Oh, I know. Look at that right there. Let's bring in this shadow here. And then look at this. This tone, there's a tone. It's coming in on the side of his face over here. And then a tone coming in over here as well. All right, now he's taking shape, huh? Look, a little tone over here as well. And then he's got these deep wrinkles. All right, what do you say we jump and move into his hair, huh? All right, so let's think of the hair as a mass. We've kind of got these hard angles, and let's kind of start to create some mass of hair. So I'm going to just kind of almost like I'm combing over, or I'm using pieces of clay to mold this. It's a mental block thing. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, Darlene, then go into our Facebook group and just direct message me, okay? Direct message me what you have. I guarantee you I'll help you, all right? And we'll make a little tweak and you'll draw it better, okay? All right, let's keep going here. All right, nice little, when I'm drawing hair, oftentimes I'm thinking of curve lines. I'm thinking of S curves. Those are C curves, S curves. Think of those two lines. Okay, so he's coming down like this, right? There's his, see, those are some nice S curves. And the other thing too is when I'm drawing hair, I'm kind of pushing down and I'm pulling up. Pushing down. This gives my lines a thickness and then a thinness, all right? All right, we're coming around here now. I'm just kind of working along the outline. All right, we get his ear. And let's come to the other side now. All right, there's some C curves, some small ones. And then, of course, okay, there's his ears coming over here, right? Hair is overlapping. Look at that. Overlapping that ear right there. Hair is overlapping this ear right there. And he's kind of got this strange looking forehead here, which I kind of neglected. So I want to bring that up just a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and add a tone to this hair here. Over there as well. Working on some of my values. Okay. Look at over here now. This is interesting. I want to show this to you. I'm going to come over here, and I want to push the side of his hair back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I add a dark value back here. And that's going to help push that object back in space. And I'm going to do the same for down here, because I want this hair to come forward, and I want this to go back, and the same thing back here. And this is something when you are drawing people, if you look for, you can, if you darken those areas, it will it will cause that hair to look like it's going behind the head instead of being way forward with the rest of the hair there. All right, that's last thing I want to do before we call it a day. I want to get this collar in. What's going on here, okay? So let's look for shapes. Look for the shapes there. And look at this here. Let's just say you had a neck coming down here. And what I'm going to demonstrate for you right here, and this is important. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to wrap something around the neck, okay? So if I come down with the neck, and there's the fabric. Now all I have to do, watch, is come up a little bit higher. And there you go. I could get the perception that this is wrapping around the neck, okay? Let me show you that down here in model. So there's the side of his neck. There's the side of his neck. And then this corner is right there, and then this starts up above that, you see? You'll have to practice that a couple times, but you'll get it. Okay, so I'm just going to come around now with these, I don't know what this necktie or this rope that he's got going here, right? And I'm just looking at the general shape. Look for the shape first before you start breaking it down into value. There's the shape. Now I can come back in here and work on some of the detail. All right, now, last thing I'm going to show you, last thing we're going to do here. As I'm just kind of working down, I'm looking for the negative shape. Look at this, the white negative shape. I'm not even worried about, I'm not even thinking about the coat right now. I'm more concerned about the negative shape that I could see that's happening. Now, once I have that, I could come back in and actually look at the shape of the coat. So just think of shapes. That's an excellent painting trick too. A lot of painters will do the same thing. They'll only look for shapes and not think so much about construction. All right. Well, that's going to do it, I think, for today. I do thank you for watching. I do ask you, if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment for me. We do have an excellent Facebook group. I would recommend that you join. The links are down below. And if you're looking to really improve your craft, I have a great class called The Daily Draw. We get together once a day for about a half an hour, and we cover all kinds of subjects. So thanks for watching today. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is Wednesday Afternoon Live. Have a great day now. Go out there, make your day great, okay? Bye-bye.